Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
Because he has less to be diva for.
Yeah, I mean he's
know,
like he. I mean when you look at like, let's say that would be like who would we say? Like if we're talking comedians, who would be like a top comedian? So let's say Paul would be like Eddie Murphy, right? And Don would be like who? I mean, he's not even Cedric the Entertainer. I mean, he's not, right?
He's not even Kevin Hart or something like that.
No,
he's
so
pretty,
who's a bottom?
No,
maybe Eddie Murphy's like third brother or something, whatever.
Yeah, Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy. Yeah, he's not even Charlie Murphy.
No, Charlie Murphy was
yeah, I mean Charlie Murphy was funny.
At least told some funny fucking stories. Yeah. No, see, the thing about that is, like, if you think about your question, like, well, with Paul Stanley, you expect a certain amount of diva. He's the star child. That's the character he created.
You can tolerate
He's like,
right?
That's you're going to expect that this person's
you're like,
going to have a certain.
Oh my God, I just got berated by a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer as a valet, to go get his vehicle, and then you have somebody like Don, who's just a grumpy son of a bitch.
And in my mind, I'd go, well, at least with Paul in probably like 1970 something to 1987, he's probably one of the top 10 rock singers in the world, dude. Could belt it out, right. Sing the highest notes, this, that, and the other. Anything you want. You want some feeling. Paul Stanley put some soul and some feeling in the vocals. And I don't know that Don Dokken was ever, even at his best day, in my top 10 vocals of that era.
No.
Singers. I just don't think it did. So, yeah. So, and part of that, how can I say this? Even Paul, with his general disdain for Ace and Pete, still throws out there that he understands there would be no Paul Stanley and Kiss without those two dudes and this chemistry that created that initial spark that led to this becoming Kiss. And Don almost never, ever says, well, if it really wasn't for Jeff and Mick and George, I just don't know if I'd be sitting here right now being Don Dokken.
Right.
He never says that. Not once. He always shits on them and says, well, I was already doing it before them and after them. And so, that shows you the mindset of the individual.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not even saying Paul's, because he's not, but I'm just saying at least he can step back from even that, just a tad from his ego and realize that it wasn't just me. I had to be with these guys for it to happen. So,
right. Yeah.
Awareness. Paul has been through enough therapy to have some self-awareness. I don't know that Don Dokken possesses, which is kind of the reason why I think that he's really best friends with my brother. There's a lack of self-awareness going on among both. So,
yeah. No, that breaks it down pretty well. And again, just the fact that he consistently shits on Pilsen and Lynch, who, regardless of how much they wrote or didn't write, I mean, the chemistry was there with those guys. Even if, let's say, they didn't write a lick and they just rolled in, played their parts, but they added something to their parts that made the songs great.
I had this conversation recently, a debate with someone who was debating me about Pink Floyd. So any of you guys know about Pink Floyd? He was saying that, well, if David played the guitars and the bass and on the album, and Raj didn't even sing it and just wrote the words, well, what Raj didn't have nothing to do with this. And I went, Raj walked in with the acoustic guitar and the words from the start, played it to Nick, Dave, Rick, said, this is my song. This is how the wall goes, boys.
Mm-hmm.
These are the chords. And then they took it and expanded upon it with their musical ability to make it sound like Pink Floyd. If Raj doesn't walk in the room with the acoustic guitar and the chords to the song and the words, you got nothing, dude. David Gilmour can play all the solos in the world, but he can't write the words or the melody. Hence why he has to hire Polly Sampson, who's now his wife, to write all the words and the vocals to his solo stuff, dude.
Right.
because Roger was writing that, and I don't care what you say. You can, and he said, well, why would then Roger let Dave play bass? Because Roger is egoless enough to know that if Dave played the bass track better, leave it on there. I'm still going to get on stage and be Roger Waters and play the bass guitar for the song and play the song live. So who cares who sat in a room and recorded it for 5 minutes? So again, so same thing with Don Dokken. I'm not saying Don Dokken didn't write the songs. He probably was the Roger Waters and could have came in with the chords and said, this is how it goes. I got this and I got that. But it took David Gilmour being George to give you that solo you needed. It could take, and I say all the time, I don't know why he shits on Jeff Pilson. Jeff Pilson was the glue. The extra vocals between him and Mick really filled out Don singing. And every interview you see, Jeff Pilson is nothing besides a nice dude. So why would you just constantly shit on him, dude? Even when he's kind of slagging Don, he doesn't really want to slag Don.
Right.
That's not Jeff Pilson. So why Don just constantly goes full barrels at those three guys? And the classiest one of them all is Mick, who just says bye.
Yeah. He just
I'm not going to say shit.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm just not going to say shit about any of them. I might have an opinion on all three of them, but I'm not going to say it, and you're not going to hear it on a microphone, and it doesn't do us any good. So, smartest man in the band is sitting in Phoenix with his feet up with a cocktail by the pool.
Yeah, right, and saying nothing.
Yeah, and just collecting those royalty checks or whatever he has left over in the bank from that big last run with them. He doesn't need a sweat for it. The house is paid for. So what does he go down to the bar and have a cocktail, play some pool, ride his motorcycle, go swimming, bang some chick, be Mick. Be Mick. That's all I gotta do. Just magical recipe here. And these other guys even George, I get tired of hearing the constant, well, I'm doing a solo on this, another album there.
Yeah.
I can't keep up, dude. I love you, dude, but fuck, man, it's like you're shooting bullets at me, and I can't catch them all, bro.
And they're not good. So, I think just the fact that he's generating all that stuff and it's coming out, and that's good that he's making money, but it's just not great because he doesn't have time to focus on it.
Yeah, and again, I think like with George, I don't doubt that he could write some of those riffs, and that's where I think when I hear certain Dokken songs, you can almost tell that riff is a George Lynch riff, and that started that verse or that chorus with that riff from George. I just don't know that he's a full songwriter. I don't think he pulls out the thing, gets to the verse and the bridge and the this and the chorus and the harmonies and do the. I don't think he's that guy. I think he has to have other people to help him complement that and arrange that and put that together. A lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, that comes from whoever's singing the words, the guy who's writing the melodies, because he's got to decide who sings where and how many times and why. And so that's how the arrangement gets made. And that's why Don tries to claim that ownership, because there's no doubt Don was one going, I'm singing these words 4 times here. I'm singing that 4 times there. We're changing right there. We're doing 4 times in the chorus, and they're going to the guitar solo. I have no doubt that's Don. He's smart enough. He knows music enough to put that together. All props to him. But to say that he can make it sound like the proof's in the pudding. Go listen to Fugitive. As good as Fugitive may be for where they are, it's Don trying to make it sound like what it was back then. It's John Levin trying to make a guitar sound like George Lynch.
Or just listen to anything other than the Reb Beach album after Shadow Life. I mean, that wasn't even really a Dokken record, but it's all mimicking the Lynch sound and not great at that. I mean, it just seems like, you know what it reminds me of? It's almost like those guys that do the AI thing saying, hey, write me a new song that sounds like Kiss, you know, and it's going to have like an Ace Frehley-ish sloppy solo and a cool bass line and, you know, and stuff like that. But it's a carbon copy of a carbon copy of a carbon copy at that point. It's a little faded. Can't really make out what it is anymore. Sounds kind of similar. It's kind of similar, but I don't know if it's the same thing as it's
what
not
the
very
original
good.
is.
Like what's the straight to video movie did this come out of from 1988? You know, I mean, it's just not great.
And then let's mention for the CMS, for them to be surprised that Sharon Osbourne and Tony Iommi are going to put this thing into theaters. Why are you surprised? That was guaranteed, bro. And it's going to be on a DVD or someplace, or a downloadable thing from an app soon, and it's going to be right there, dude. And it's going to be probably getting charged a couple of bucks for it.
And then they'll do deluxe versions. They'll be like, hey, we have the uncut 12-hour version for X amount.
Yeah, and here's where they get, because Evil might have been drum teching behind the scenes. There are cameras behind the scenes that
Hmm.
filmed rehearsals from
Sure.
behind the scenes, and then they go, "Do you
Interviews
want to
and
see Black Sabbath's final rehearsals to get ready for the Back to
or
the Beginning?"
did you want to watch Axel meeting Ozzy for the very first time? Things
There
like
you
that.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which also was funny to me. I mean, but that just shows you, even when you live in Los Angeles, doesn't mean you're going to run into these people at the same
Hmm.
place at the same time. Because if you're out doing your career, you may not ever see some of these people. I keep saying, when you're a
Right.
musician, you have to a lot of times miss a lot of the bands you want to go see because you're playing a gig somewhere else and you're just not anywhere where they are.
Maybe
So
we'll get the what's his face, Tobias from Ghost, putting on his mask.
yeah, and it's also funny to me that people are like, well, Axel was nice. Like,
Yeah.
anything you've heard about Axel being Axel was like in
Yeah.
1991. It's
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even. When was the last time he was arrested, or last time he had a major
Well,
skirmish, or had some situation where he
here,
was dressing somebody down or trying to jump in the
yeah,
crowd? It's been a long time,
and
dude. He
and
doesn't.
here's one.
He's calmed down. He's an old man now.
Here's one. Ozzy was frail.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
So
whatever.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah. So, anyways, with the CMS, and I'm not. What I would wish they would do sometimes is, if you're going to bring up the topic, maybe throw it to the other guy the day before, so he can at least Google it up and
And
have a general working knowledge of what we're
well,
talking about before
and
we
this
start
is where
spouting off.
the lack of listener input really dings them, because this is where Tim James would come in and pipe in and give his, and then they'd go back and forth. All that stuff made the show flow better, even though they had zero content really. Or you'd have Barden step in. Oh, Sammy Hagar really sucked, and they'd go back and forth for a little bit. Yeah, I mean that's what it's lacking, is the clones phoning in, right? Because then that would
Yes.
buy them at least a minimum of 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes of them going back and forth, sparring with the caller. And they don't have that anymore.
No, they don't. And like, I kind of feel like I'm in the same time frame I was once at with the Stern show.
Yeah,
Where I'm
exactly.
sitting there watching it devolve into
It is.
evolve into something it's not that it was before, and I don't really know if I like where it's going. I'm kind of,
Well,
because of the history of it and the fact that it provided laughs and it was quality at one point in time, I'm
right.
trying to hang on. But when Aiken, he's getting close to putting some nails in Evil's coffin here. When he started ranting last night
Right.
that we owe you nothing and you
Yeah.
are nothing and never were nothing.
What's he?
Dude,
Who's he talking to?
dude,
See, wait,
dude.
you have to set that up, because right after, when did that come up? Was that somewhere? I stepped out for a little
Third
bit.
segment. It was the paid segment when Barden brought.
I missed Barden. Yeah, I missed Barden.
He wanted to call in, and Aiken said no, and then there was some dialogue in the chat room, and Aiken started barking and saying that for 15 years he's been telling Neely to get rid of the fucking phones, and he doesn't want the phones to ever be answered again. And he felt that every time, this is what he said. This is where I think is complete bullshit. Every time the phone rang, it derailed the show.
No, it did not.
So you're telling me that fucking real Jeff Tate derailed the show?
Right.
You're telling me that Eric Braverman derailed the show?
Yeah.
You're telling me that fucking Tim James derails the
Yeah.
show? You're telling no.
I mean,
again,
think
you
about
guys
this.
are in such fear that what derailed the show was you were afraid of me and Andrew and Ruben calling you and saying something you didn't want to hear.
Even a shithead like Lou from the Lou didn't derail the show, because he called in drunk and mumbled some,
and usually
shit. Yeah.
they were calling regarding something that they had said or were on the current topic of, and they added a thing to it that they did not think of or hadn't seen it that way. And even if they didn't agree, that would lead to Aiken getting hot, which would then lead to him barking, which is what we're all waiting for. That's what we want. We don't want subdued happy Aiken. We want angry Aiken. And that only comes when we annoy you, bro. Don't you get that?
But now he's looking like gray, dying Aiken.
That's where I think he's getting. I think he's pushed himself too far with too many shows and too much shit on his plate. And it's not even us. It's not even just Neely. It's just that he doesn't care about nothing no more.
He's overextended himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the
I
dude can't
did.
get out the door to go to the sheets.
I don't know if you. I don't know if you remember. Remember before he. This was. I think it was before he started doing that show with Grampula, Count Grampula.
Mhm. The cap.
He would do the Chris Aiken presents. Remember he would do like 10, 15, 20-minute segments. I thought those were
Yeah,
fucking
that's how it
great.
started.
Yeah, I
That's
thought
how it
those were
started.
great because he'd focus on one thing. Oh, here's a new TV show that I watched. Those I
Or
wouldn't.
reviewed something. Or
Yeah,
talked
those I
about
wouldn't
something. Yeah.
check out. But I would when he would do like an album review and he'd do like a 10, 15-minute thing on an album. I'm like, oh yeah, well that sounds kind of interesting. Or, oh okay, yeah, I'll avoid that then. But
So
yeah, that I thought that was pretty cool and a good use of time because he was just sprinkling those on a daily basis. You get
and he
10,
wasn't
15
making you
minutes.
dredge through 6
No,
hours of
yeah,
all this
of shit.
monotonous, and then his songs, and then when the songs are playing, I get nothing for 20 minutes while I'm listening to silence till they get back on the air. And yeah, one, y'all, again,
Hmm.
let's just be real, people. If you're watching this show, if you're even here, we have such a niche audience, then you know what we're talking about because you're paying attention to the CMS. If you're paying attention, you know what Nate's, or I should say, Evil's going to say right now. And that is that number one, they got to cut this show down. The 6 hours it's just too much, dude. It's like a
I
fucking
know.
marathon, a radio marathon. You're gonna buckle in and
Well,
you're gonna fast and
I
not
mean,
shit your
they
pants
should
while you
do
sit in this
that.
chair and never leave.
I mean, you think about this, there's no reason, no excuse why they couldn't whittle this down to 2 solid hours, maybe 3.
2-3
They're
hours.
they're
Yeah,
not
they put a
taking
couple
calls
tunes in
now,
there,
so
take a
just
break.
eliminate the music and just do 3 segments, take a
Yeah, or
break.
like I said, I'm thinking if Neely really gets his jollies off from playing some tunes, then you take a 2-song break so you can refresh the drink and take a
Mhm.
piss and get
Yeah.
whatever, and you come back. But if you did that 2 or 3 times, then you got 3 hours of stuff, and you probably get about 2.5, 3 hours of
Mhm.
show, and then it would be like less. I would tolerate sitting between your breaks because there's only 2 songs, and then
Well,
and find a way to just give us the songs. It's stupid that you can only play the songs here but not there on the website
mhm.
here but not over there. Either pay for the shit to play the songs everywhere or don't, and
I
don't play them.
I don't think the guy takes a piss break because he's wearing a diaper. Is what
Or
I
you're just
think.
pissing in a jug under the table.
He like Riley Martin, right? He had
Yeah,
his piss jug. But
or
no,
like the guys that or like the truckers on the long hauls got the fucking gallon jug between their
remember,
legs. Keep hauling.
I think you're onto something though. This is like the beginning of the end, like it was with Stern, because remember towards the tail end, they did the rate a woman kind of thing with Ralph Sorella, and I'm like, you're the last guy that should be rating
Yeah.
women. And
Yeah,
this
you
this
should
is
have.
kind of where we're at now, is that it's devolved to that. It's like they're berating women for being full figured. Which reminds me, did you hear the remark about Aiken read my remark on the Rumble chat? I'll read it real
Mhm.
quick. I said,
Yes.
"Come on, that's Taylor with no filters." And up until that point, Neely was chuckling, and then he said that, and I think you could see the moment
Well,
where it kind of where he
hit him.
processed it, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck."
Yeah, and he went silent in
Yep.
case Larry Taylor was listening because he didn't want to
Yeah.
say nothing, and he was caught, and he was realizing that Taylor without filters is not much different than
No.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, bro.
No.
Come on, what are you trying to?
And
So
let's
are
be
you trying
honest,
to?
I think Jennifer Love Hewitt's better looking. I mean, let's be
And
honest.
it's 2025, Wendell.
Mhm.
There's no shame in anyone's game. Okay, there isn't. There's no need to be. No one cares. So right now, all you out there want to get the dirt on Evil. I like big old fat titties, bro. If there ain't big fat titties, you won't see Evil anywhere near them because that's just what I like. So well, that girl's kind of fat. She has huge knockers. You're gonna see that I'm gonna be up in them. I'm gonna be motorboating like nobody's business. That's what I like. I ain't trying to hide it. It's 2025. So everybody's got their thing, and there's no reason if Wendell likes this or that or younger and thicker or whatever. I'm not even knocking Taylor. I'm just saying, why
Right.
are you sitting there railing on her
Right.
when she looks pretty much like your old lady, bro?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Pretty
yes,
much
that
looks
was a
like
classic. I saw
no,
it. I
with no
listened to it,
filters.
and
And did
Aiken
you
read
see?
it, which was classic.
Yeah.
It's good on Aiken for saying straight
He
what it
did.
said.
I thought that was hysterical because I'm like, oh shit, he's reading it. And I was like, mm. And first thing I did was zero in on Neely's reaction. And he was chuckling up until that point. It was like, oh shit, when he realized
he went
yeah.
like,
yeah,
that's exactly what he did when he heard that. It was so obvious.
Oh,
so yeah, that, and then we're not saying that we're producing the classic metal show, but we might be
are
saying,
you talking about Train?
Producing. What would be now we understand that Henry Lee Summers requested the song.
Yeah.
Now he probably requested the song after watching the interview that we did with the bass player of that song. But it's funny to me that Neely would then throw that right there on one of the first, second break or whatever, and throw it right at the top of the thing. And I was all, we just literally had that dude on. Like,
right.
Come on, that's not coincidence. So, and now Neely, being dense, probably didn't see our interview and is completely unaware.
Right.
But the people in the chat room know.
Yeah.
Henry Lee Summers clearly knew, and he was fucking with him and putting on something he wanted to hear because he just got done listening to the guy talking about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is interesting that Neely acts and tries to act really sophisticated, which he probably is within his inner circle. But like I was saying, outside of his inner circle, he's a real dope.
There's some times where it does feel like there's a bit of just going on there. And what the worst part of it is like, if you don't know, just do what Evil says. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't care how it makes me look. But he has some prideful thing where he has to like present himself as the all knowledgeable, whatever. It's like, no, dude, because a lot of times that's when as soon as you start acting like that is when Evil cues in, because I'm waiting for you to shit starts falling out your mouth. That's not true.
And that's part of the problem with the show is that, if it was shorter, they wouldn't run into a lot of this shit. Because they could go, okay, what do we got first segment? This and this. What do we got second? This. What do we got third? Well, this and this, and we'll end with that, and done.
Or God forbid you do what was being suggested and stick to rock and metal music. You don't need the social commentary. We don't need to hear about Bobby had a fucking this and did that. All the stuff that you're reading about
our
news
great
articles
president.
And things. Or whatever. Yeah. So and I'm not. Let's go back to this. Y'all are going to have your politics. There's 50% of you watching this right now who are completely for the guy in the White House. There's 50% of you who think it's the worst thing in the fucking world. The reality is, and Evil's going to call a spade again. He really ain't doing anything different that Biden and Obama and all of them didn't do before. They just do it differently. Some do it in your face. Some do it behind your back. They're all still doing it. It doesn't make a difference. So like this whole idea right now that because he's raiding people with ICE and this, they have warrants. Obama, I think I looked it up, was 2.5 or 3 million fucking deportees per year.
Right.
Obama was yanking them out too. He just wasn't telling y'all. He wasn't letting the media know.
It was low key. Yeah. Exactly.
And so what I'm saying, and you can go, and I'm not knocking Obama for doing that. He probably looked at it and realized there's some criminal elements coming across their borders that cause a bunch of fucking headache, and I don't want to deal with that. So just get them the fuck out of here and quietly show up to some neighborhoods and yank these fucking illegal guys that don't belong here out.
I'm just trying to.
I'm not against a pathway to citizenship for y'all if you don't have a criminal history and you're a legit person. But we know that those people that the Homan guy is yanking you out of the farms for, that have child molestation and murder charges and warrants and felony, he's not coming to your door because you made a burrito, bro. That's not what he's doing. I don't care. Again, the media can spin it however they want. He doesn't have time for that. There's 300 million people in America. He doesn't. So he's going after the dudes he knows are 100% sane here because sleepy Joe Biden, who has now been proven, and not knocking him, he was old. He was clearly not able to pay attention. Just the bottom line. He was not at the wheel, guys. He wasn't. So, and I don't honestly, we've got to wonder with Trump at his age, how long is he going to be at the wheel, and how much crazier is it going to get if he's losing his mind as he gets older? So we have to fear this from all sides. I'm with Again, this is why Evil's a libertarian, because I really think there needs to be multiple parties with multiple choices, some younger people with some common sense, and less of this, let's go to the senior center and find the guy who's right on the verge of dementia and say, let's vote him as a president. Why?
Yeah.
It's much more better people qualified to do the job. So anyways, that's my political commentary for the show. We're not going to go down Wendell's road and tell y'all what to do. It's America. You can do whatever you want. That's what Evil really wants to tell y'all. It's America. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. As long as you're not breaking the law and you're not hurting someone else, you're probably not going to get fucked with, and you just get to be yourself. So Let's bring up a couple of things that I think news-wise we had on the table that have been going on. And well, I mean, the first one of the ones you showed me
No.
that the CMSers know about, and we have to examine if you can. I don't know if you can bring it up with your. I'm on the yeah, but the Frankie Valley is gonna.
Oh, Jesus.
If he's not dead,
He's
gotta
fucking,
be like.
he's on my list, but he's not going quick enough for me.
Are they propping a corpse though? Like, how is this? What is happening? Like, what is it? Is it like he's like just completely comatose, and then they drug him up for 2 hours, and he gets up there and goes? Because he looked.
I don't know.
What I was going to try.
Good.
What? So you guys know what Evil was going to do for this, and I couldn't do because I'm on the mobile app and I didn't have my laptop with me today. Was that I was going to make my background the Chuck E. Cheese animatronic guys that go like this on the stage and act like I was at Chuck E. Cheese, because that's what Frankie Valley reminds me of. It's like he's like the animatronic guy.
Oh,
he's
right.
just like they kind of rotate him around, have him look at the different people. His mouth moves a little bit, but the audio's not coming from his mouth. So yeah, it's weird, dude. And so again, and where are we in America that no one's outraged and going, get this guy?
Like senior abuse, right? I mean,
yeah, that's my
bizarre
point.
to me.
Where is the lawyer or a cop or an attorney or someone to say this is senior abuse, elder abuse? He should not be subjected to having to go do this, and we have to get a mental evaluation to see is he cognizant to know where he is and what he's doing and what decisions are being made. It's just weird. And I can't even imagine a situation where how it gets to be that far. Like we're kind of bordering it. I say this again, and he was on my list. We're kind of bordering it with Mike Love, but Mike Love is about 10 or 15 years younger and still moving and actually singing and talking and doing some stuff himself. I don't think he's singing all the vocals. They definitely got some piped in background Beach Boys vocals, but I think his mic is hot. And he's still able to, I think, walk around and know when he's in Atlanta or when he's in, Texas. I think he knows that much. But I do wonder, he seems like the same kind of guy. Would they just kind of keep pushing Mike Love out there in some kind of a form to stand on a stool or sit there and pretend like he's doing this? Round, round.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up. I'm trying to pull up that clip, and I think they took it down.
Oh, they may have, because I have seen some others that have gotten
it goes over to cats, like a cat video.
Well,
so,
they very well could have, because
but we'll try to find it, and maybe we can pull it next go round.
But anyone out there should just do some recent searches of his. It's just it's just getting worse and worse. It's like someone needs to do a pulse check. Someone needs to get a doctor on the stage and say, is this even? There's got to be some legal malpractice or something. I don't know.
You're right, though. It did look like one of those Chuck E. Cheese or the California Adventures bears that.
It's like his eyes are open, they're barely blinking, and he's going like.
That really is bad. Do you think they'll do that with Dawn at some point?
I hope not. That's what I'm trying to suggest not to have happen. With all these guys. I mean, even with Ozzy, I was really reluctant.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, I felt like Ozzy and Sharon put some effort into finding a way to present Ozzy to be his best self for that one moment in time, and they got through it, and it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. So good on Oz.
Yeah.
But he, that took a chair and a lift and people and teleprompters and medications and doctors on backstage. There's a lot of things required to get this even to go down. Right. So no, Dawn should not be doing this again. Now, I can't look in their bank account and say how it is for each guy, because everyone's different. Some guys blow through their fucking money, and some guys sit on their fucking money, and it's there all the way till the day they die. You never know. But if you have the dough, Dawn, you don't need to do that. You got the mansion in the nice, beautiful house in New Mexico. To us normal people, a mansion. So come on, dude. Like, you don't need to. Again, if I was his manager person, I would say, which I don't think he even has one. I would be like, dude, next year it's Dawn Dawkins, 25 acoustic dates over the course of the year. Right. 2 shows a weekend max with a day off between. And we're doing acoustic set with John Levin and maybe a guy back there on the bongos.
Yeah.
Doing it.
And And we're
something.
dropping the dead weight. We're not going to have that guy that we're comping to zip up your pants and Velcro your shoes. John's going to do it now.
Exactly. Yeah. Or at least get the competent Neely, get Evil in here and let Evil set this straight, because we might actually get the show to go down right. Because Evil would look at Don and go, "Dude, that song sucks. You can't sing that. Don't do that, Don. No, I got this one over here. I think you can sing better, bro."
Yeah.
So I mean, and I don't, again, it's not even like I hope Don Dokken would be smart enough to listen and not. It's not a personal thing. It's obvious, dude. And I don't think, again, anyone's in his circle to say that to his face sometimes. Like, dude, you really can't sing this song or that song. So let's change that. Even if it means removing a classic song from the set list that you think that they want to hear, but you could find something else in your catalog that some of them are still going to know, but you can sing better. That's what we got to do. So that's honestly, what a Doc McGee gets paid for. That's what, Alan Kovac gets paid for. I don't know if Sharon quite does that with Ozzy, but that's real management would do, is they would look at their artist and say, here's what we're doing well, here's what we're doing wrong. We have to get the wrong out of the way and minimize that and accentuate what we're doing well. And I don't know that there's anyone in Don's world doing that for Don Dokken.
Well, it's not the clip clop.
No.
Oh my God!
So
that could be one of our other words we can.
The clip clop.
Clip clop.
So yeah, that was one of the subjects. I don't know. Can you bring up Titanium Tart?
Yeah, I'll let me dig that up.
See if you can dig around for that, because my point with bringing them up is if you watch a little bit of this video, and I wanted to bring it up because I wanted you guys to see which particular show I was watching. Nico throws some zingers at Maiden, verbally.
Are you referring to the part where he comes up on stage and talks?
He does it multiple times. You have to watch. It's a long show. It's almost 2 hours. I know it's a lot.
Let me see if I can pull this up.
Yeah. But he one, and we can't go through the whole 2 hours. I was just going to show you a little bit what he's doing, because one, I would say it kind of sounded to me, maybe it's an English sense of humor and I'm not getting it, but it almost sounded like there's a little resentment in Nico's voice. It sounded like he was a little bit like, yeah, well, those guys are out there doing that, but you could come see this. And I was kind of like, well, if you had walked away on good terms, why would you? And so now I would also say I actually like what he's doing. The song selection's fucking cool. They're going way deep in some areas that Maiden doesn't usually do. The band sounds pretty good for what you would expect of guys you don't know trying to do Maiden. They don't try to mimic Iron Maiden, but they make it sound quality and good. Right. And I'm thinking, if I was Joe Promoter and you're telling me I could have $100,000 budget to get a festival going, and I call Iron Maiden and they say, we want $100,000 to headline your festival. And I say, well, let me call Titanium Tart. And Nico goes, I'm going to do it for 15 or 20K. Well, I might just say, hey, Titanium Tart, you're going to open this thing up and fill my Maiden niche at a fraction of the cost and save me $80,000 more to go spend on the rest of my lineup. And I'm just wondering, there might be some people out there who would be.
Don't you think? I mean, I know you're saying this, like getting him booked for smaller gigs, getting the money. Yeah. Don't you think he'd go over well in like some of these music horror type convention type things? I mean, if he would be the entertainment, how they've had like the guys from Anthrax and Ellefson and all those. I mean, you could totally see him doing this. I think even the Iron Maidens have done some of those kinds of things. So imagine getting real Iron Maiden.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking in my mind, well, there's always been a slew of about 15 or 20 around the world, high quality Iron Maiden tribute bands, the Iron Maidens and these different ones coming around doing this, just like the AC/DC ones. So Nico could be the first act for Iron Maiden, who's actually the former member, longtime drummer of Iron Maiden that we all know. And I'm just telling you, watch the video. It's not bad. It's not like this actual audio, what they're the precision of the band playing the songs and playing it fucking well. Yeah. And I was making the joke to you that the one guitar player guy who's a little older with the ball cap, kind of looks like a quasi Glenn Tipton-ish kind of guy or something. I would right now, if I was Harris, I would be Yannick's out, and we're hiring that guy because
Yeah.
he at least stands there and does the guitar parts, quality, plays a note for fucking note, doesn't give you all the stupid theatrics and dancing and ridiculous looking shit that's going on with Yannick. And if you really have, which I don't even think you need with Adrian and Dave, you don't need a third guitar player. They're just being nice to let Yannick keep his gig, I guess. But if you were going to go that route, that's the guy you go hire because he's clearly got all the licks down as smooth as ice. He's not trying to draw attention to himself. He's just going to play this shit the way it's supposed to be. So that was my point. As a guy who's seen Maiden quite a few times, I've always been amazed at the amount of ridiculousness that's going on the side of stage where Mr. Gers is standing.
Yeah. And the thing with them is that for a 3-guitar band, I mean, I'd almost say Skinner has a thicker guitar sound than Maiden.
You know? Yeah, and I don't. So that's what I'm saying. They don't and Adrian and Dave really can cover all the bases. You don't really need the third guy. But if you're gonna say for the sound or the this or the complexity of the new material, having the 3 guitar players from the last few albums, okay, I'm just saying. Again, Yannick looks like a fool doing what he does. So just get this guy who's clearly got all the licks and looks the part and looks just like a chill dude who's ripping the solos the way they should be. So I don't know. I'm just saying Nickel found the guy is my point that can. And his singer was actually good, man. I was really surprised at the guy's voice. He sung the shit well and wasn't trying to be Bruce Dickinson, but made it sound like it should, like it was Iron Maiden. So.
Like, could you see him and KK Downing doing their own versions of their bands, doing covers of the bands that they came from?
If there was Nico and Titanium Tart with KK and his band, and I would go see that in a heartbeat. You give me some Ripper Owens and that band guy singing right there for Nico, I would be right there. Yeah. Right. And again, at a fraction of the price of what you're going to pay and the shit you're going to go through to go see Iron Maiden. So,
right. Yeah. I'm
saying, as I'm a promoter. Behind the scenes, I would kind of be wondering sometimes, do I want to give, 150, how much they charge you? They got to be up there. If Motley Crue's asking for $200,000, then the Maiden's asking the same thing, dude. So, or more. And so if they're asking for that, I would just kind of wonder, well, what would Nico call? He'd probably come over here for $20,000 or $25,000 with a kick-ass band and give you sound just like Maiden and fill that Maiden niche. And you got a real dude who was on hella Maiden albums. And he doesn't, I thought, because I watched a couple of videos, and he said that he was having problems with one of his arms doing certain drum fills. So either this band picked songs that he's not having that issue with, because you don't notice that at all in these videos, or Evil's going to throw a conspiracy theory out there. Someone in that band or management didn't want an old drummer. Wanted a young drummer to keep like in Guns N' Roses, like they just did to Frank, right? Just throw him out and grab a young guy. All these bands do this because they think it brings more energy to the band or whatever behind the kid. I'm wondering because, again, watch the comments, ladies and gentlemen, on that video, and you can search it up. It's Titanium Tart, Nickel McBrain. Right. I believe they're live in Florida. Yep. This is pretty recent, just a couple of weeks ago, I believe. Yeah.
Well, this one's 7/17.
This
is a different one, maybe.
Yeah.
But we'll play a portion of that because there is a spot coming up where I queued it up where he's coming up to talk to the crowd, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and he has some of it's the English sense of humor, I'm sure. I don't think that there's bad blood. I just wonder if maybe he wasn't 100% really ready to step down, and maybe they were kind of, Nico, you gotta go.
They're like, hey, we'll throw a few bucks to you if you just step down.
Yeah, because again, if it was like a truly physical thing, how is he doing 2 hours with Titanium Tart? All those deep Maiden cunts with no problem. Right. And if it was a physical thing and this and that and his stroke and whatever, then which is what I was always led to believe, then why is he out doing the gigs at all? Why would he just be sitting back, putting his feet on the beach of Florida, collecting the money from the restaurant? I don't get it. So I think he wants to play music. I don't think he's done.
Right. Yeah. All right. Give me a minute. All right. So here's one of the clips. I know there's several of these, but we'll give them a little bit of a sample of what you were talking about. And
what Nico's doing here. I think you guys will enjoy it. This is a good song, and they do it well. I guess you guys can leave in the comments whether you think
Yeah.
that Nico's lacking in the drumming or not, but I wasn't noticing anything to my ears.
I mean, the singer doesn't sound like Bruce, but he sounds pretty good. I mean, he
Yeah,
definitely
that's
has
what I like
a
about it.
metal.
Yeah, it's still, yeah.
Yeah. And there's the guitar player you were referencing to that has the KK
Yeah,
Downing
yeah.
look.
I would much rather watch this guy play guitar on the side stage of Maiden than Yannick's bullshit.
Right. So here we go.
It says on my side as you pause screen sharing.
What was that?
I said I'm not hearing it on our side. It's saying that it's paused screen sharing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So you're hearing it, but we're not. Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Let me see what I can do. All right. So I think we got it right now. Jeez.
Yeah, now we got it.
We're
yeah,
having
so
we're having like Aiken tech
IT.
IT issues.
So yeah,
But
ladies and gentlemen, this is Nico McBrain's Titanium Tart, and we just wanted to give you guys a little sample of how they sound, and I think they're pretty badass. I would definitely just suggest going and check this out.
Uh-oh. There we go. So this would be cool to see this with KK Downing or KK's Priest, I guess, right? I mean, it'd be
yeah, that'd be great.
two guys from classic bands doing their own thing.
Yeah, and both doing it well.
What's your thoughts on the bass player?
Doing the Steve Harris parts has got to be one of the most complicated bass player roles in any band in the history of metal or rock. I mean, the finger's got to be flying. You got to be galloping at all times. He's got his own. I'm not really feeling his look per se, but his actual playing of the notes, which is what you're listening to. He actually, Nico's right. He's got it down, dude. He's playing the shit the way Steve plays.
Yeah, it is weird to see somebody playing Maiden that way, because as we've talked about, even with the Iron Maidens, even the bass player that's doing that has the Steve Harris movements and the way he plays, every note down. It's kind of weird. It's almost kind of like watching one of those Tampa death metal guys playing Maiden or something. The way
I was going to say, I feel like I got the bass player for Prong or something over here on the bass guitar,
like
but
one of those bands.
But he's playing it note for note very well. And if you really listen to what as a bass player, what he's doing with Nico, they're locked in, man. It's and that's what you got to have if they're going to make Maiden sound like Maiden. So
right,
Then, like I said, the singer doesn't sound like Bruce, but but it has its own spin on it that still gives it a Maiden quality to it.
Right. Here we go. Oops. There we go. Uh-oh. I mean, he does a pretty good job. I mean, as a band, they even sound pretty good. I mean, I'd see this.
Yeah, if they said that was coming to your town for $25, I'd be right there in the front row with the beer in my hand.
And he'd probably bring
So,
what, like the trooper beer, so you could take a
yeah,
collector's item
exactly.
home or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it is no, it's good. And like you were saying here, let's see. I don't know. Maybe we should. You were saying something about the set list, and I do remember seeing some pretty cool. I think on here it has. Yeah. Well, you got the stuff that you typically see. Number of the Beast. Stranger in a Strange Land's always a good one.
Mhm.
Let me see. What do we got? Yeah, I mean, Heaven Can Wait. What do you think of Seventh Son of a Seventh Son? I know there's a lot of people that really think that that's like their best moment. I don't know about that.
I don't know if it's the best, but I like it. I never had any
Yeah.
problem with it. I like the song, the album, all of it's. I think it's still right in that period where, for me, Maiden really couldn't do wrong.
Hmm.
Up till all the way up to Fear of the Dark.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
think
good to
that
me, all
was
the way. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was the kind of the
The
drop off
culmination,
point.
or yeah,
Yeah.
right there is where the kind of went off the cliff a little
And what did you think of what is it,
bit. And
Brave
even
New
off Fear of
World?
the Dark, there's songs off Fear of the Dark I do like. I just don't
Hmm.
think it's as an album it's quite up to the ones that were going up before it. I
Right.
like Brave New World. I went and saw them on the Brave New World tour as soon as they
Yeah.
had Bruce and Adrian back in the band. I think that was one of the shows I mentioned previously on one of our shows where they had Halford, or they had
Hmm.
Queensryche and Halford on the bill. I think Rob
Right.
opened with Halford, and then Queensryche, and then Maiden, and an
Hmm.
amazing show. I don't, I like it. It's not, again, is it as good as some of those earlier albums? No, but there's still 4 or 5 songs on Brave New World that I like. So,
Yeah. Nice.
and to me, if Maiden gives me 4 or 5 new songs,